Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome back to a new video. This video will be a little bit different from all of the other videos I've done so far. I get asked so many questions of you guys through social media and through YouTube directly that it's really hard for me to keep up with all of them and answer them individually. So I thought I'd go ahead and create videos of questions that I get asked multiple times so I can answer them or answer this particular question to all of you. And I hope that's interesting for you guys because it might answer a question you haven't even asked yet, in the ideal case of course, and this will be more of a me talking to you guys type of video, and I hope you will like it. Let's see how that goes. So one of the questions I get asked the most is, how do I create a side income while still working in a full-time job? I understand that this is a very popular question for a lot of people out there, because who doesn't want to earn a little bit extra on the salary that they already get from their company, with the prospect of eventually creating a business of your own and maybe do something what you're passionate about. Unfortunately, this is also a very tough question to answer because there are so many variables playing into it. So when I started out in 2016 and I created my website cosec.com, I purely created it because I wanted to document some stuff for myself. I basically wanted to have a platform where I can write some kind of documentation for stuff that I will always need over and over again. For example, how to install Plex Media Server, how to update a Plex Media Server and stuff like this. I just wanted to collect it somehow. I didn't even think of making revenue or making a business or doing anything in particular to create a business. At this time, I just wrote down some very crappy blog articles. I was not a good writer back in the day, but I kept doing it, and I didn't even have really noticeable traffic up until 1 year later in 2017, when I recognized that I have now like 100 visitors a month or something like this, and I didn't run any ads on the site either. It was purely for myself, and I thought, oh, that's cool, some people are checking out my website, that's pretty awesome. But for the first year really I did not even think about making money from it. It came a little bit later when I had the idea, why do all people run ads on their site? So I started to create a little sidebar ad, and I don't know, it took quite a while till I got approved for Google AdSense in the first place. It took a couple of months actually, and I put the ad on the sidebar, and it took almost half a year more, so that's 1.5 years after I initially created the website and actually produced and published a lot of content on there already for myself and for documentation reasons. And 1.5 years later I started to see some money coming in, and some money means like $5 a month. After 1.5 years spending countless hours on redesigning the website 15 times, I don't know how many times I completely revamped the website, but I definitely spent hundreds of hours on this project already, and I did not make any money of it. And it was around 2017 or something like this when I also started the YouTube channel, because I thought, why not do some videos, maybe there's some money in it. And I did not have any revenue, and my first videos were pretty shitty too, so it was basically a struggle. And if you want to create something, it takes a very long time until you see some results, except you are picking up on a very popular topic, or you do something that people are really interested in this particular moment. But in general, and that's what I hear from most creators, at least the ones I follow, is that it's a struggle. And in this struggle where you actually don't see anything coming back, like there's no revenue, you even pay more for servers and web hosting than you actually get back. So you put money into something where you don't even know if it ever will be valuable, or if it will be a valuable asset to you. So that's the point where most people will quit. So it wasn't up until 2 years after I created this project initially that I took it way more serious, because the money slowly started to raise, and in 2018 I got like $50 a month or something all together, combined with YouTube and with AdSense from my website. I didn't have any affiliate links back then, I think maybe Amazon affiliate or something like this. There was a couple of bucks coming in too, but it definitely was not somewhere near where I thought, wow, maybe I can make a living from this one day, or maybe I could go full-time doing this. All of that changed in the summer of 2018, or even a little bit earlier in spring 2018, where I actually made around $300 or something a month. And it was in a point of my life where I actually was already thinking of like reducing the hours. I was working a full-time job, so in cybersecurity and as an administrator. So I was already thinking of reducing the hours, and I was a little bit calculating how much effort would I need to spend on this project to fill the gap between the money that I lose with reducing my hours and how much revenue I would need to create to fill this gap, so I would actually have more free time. So I reduced my working week from 40 hours a week to 30 hours a week in summer 2018 and spend a lot more time on creating content. And fast forward to now, so mind you, that's three and a half years after I created this project initially. I'm at a point where I can say that I stocked up some of I definitely filled the gap from the reduction of hours I have in my office job, and I'm actually at a point now where it gets really close to where this could potentially become a full-time job for me and doing content creation full-time. So to put that in numbers, that's September 2019 right now, and last month I made $700. That's still very far from being sustainable or self-sustained with only creating content. I would need to earn much more than that, but it's as simple as that. The more content I create, the more revenue I get, the more views I get. There is more potential of a video being more popular than all of my other videos, if it's a topic that is particularly interesting for somebody at this moment in time. So there are so many factors playing into it, and it takes a lot of time to create content too. And if you don't see anything coming back, especially when you're just starting out and you already did like 20, 30 videos and you think, I don't get any revenue back, why am I still doing this? It will never work. But what you have to keep in mind is always like, you will improve from video to video. Like I record those videos, I probably do the first take of the video about 20 times because I mess it up every single time I start. I'll mess up a sentence or something. I'm not a native English speaker, as you can hear, most likely. And sometimes I mess up words, I mess up sentences, and I need to re-record stuff and re-record it. And that's still, the recording part itself is still a small amount of time. The really hard part starts in the editing process, which takes way longer than actually recording a video. The same goes for tutorials, because my tutorials especially are so in-depth that I rewatch them a couple of times sometimes to really make sure there is no mistake in them. And yeah, stuff like this. So you spend many hours on creating stuff, and you will not get rewarded for it for a very long time, most likely. So let's put it together. If you want to start to earn money on the side while working a full-time job, you just need to start creating content. Find something that you're passionate about. Everybody is passionate about something, that's what people always say. I know some people are not passionate about anything. There are people like this out there. If you are one of those people, I recommend try some new stuff. Try some new sports, try reading about new topics, try reading about new technology, stuff like this. If you're already passionate about something, you probably have something valuable to talk about that somebody else will be interested in. And unfortunately, there is only one way to find out about if it has potential or not. It's simply by starting to create. And you probably, if you run a new website, if you create a new website. I just recently created a new project because I'm learning how to code. So I created a coding website that has coding tutorials. It's codev.org if you're interested. And I wrote about 20 articles now, something like this, and there is no traffic coming to it whatsoever, except I share a link on social media. So what I want to say with this is, it takes very long until a new website populates. It needs to get domain authority, page authority, it needs to get recognized by Google, you need to have original content on there, you need to learn about SEO, you'll need to learn about a lot of different things that help you to actually get traffic from Google towards your direction. You need to learn so many things when you just start out to create content. There are so many variables. If you never hosted a website, that's the first part. Like, you need to find out which hoster am I taking, where am I hosting my website, what kind of website am I hosting, which content management system am I using, what name I'm giving to the website, how to buy a domain. All this kind of stuff you need to learn. This is what turns most people off already in the beginning, but gladly nowadays it's really easy to host a website on something like Squarespace. Everybody can create a website. It got really easy, so this hurdle should be easy to jump over, and I think it's definitely worth it if you give it a shot. I know so many people who have in-depth knowledge about topics that I know are interesting for somebody else, and they say, oh, I would love to do something like you, I would like to create some content on the side, earn some money on the side, do a blog, and I'm just saying, why are you not doing it? Like, you just have to start. You really just have to start, and if you just do it as a fun side project, use every single minute that you have idle time at work, for example, to learn some new skills. With stuff like Udemy, you can always, even in your lunch break, you can take your laptop or you can sit on your computer, eat lunch on your computer, and watch a tutorial on either YouTube or Udemy or something like this. Use idle time to develop new skills. That's a big one. Like, there are a lot of people sitting in the office who have lots of idle time, especially if you work in some service desk kind of environment where you're waiting for calls to come in, and on more quiet days you have a lot of idle time. Some people, they just surf the internet and do useless bullshit, and those are mostly the people who are complaining how shitty their job is, but they're not doing anything to change it. So I always would tell them, open YouTube, find a topic, learn about it, learn coding. It's the perfect opportunity to learn coding or programming, and just learn a skill. Use idle time to learn a skill. Use time in the evening when you are usually watching Netflix to learn a skill. Maybe start with 25 minutes of watching a Udemy video on some topic that interests you. Try to learn this. Just start slowly if you really are in a position where you don't do anything at this moment. Start slowly, do it step by step, and eventually you will get somewhere. But the most important part is really, don't give up. Even there is no traffic coming in, there are no views on your YouTube channel, you don't get a new subscriber, whatever it is. Just stick with it, push through. As I said, 1.5 years I had no revenue. I spent hundreds of hours on this project already. I had zero revenue literally, and I still kept doing it because I knew in the back of my head that it someday will pay off. And I think that's true for most of you people that are trying to do something like this. You just have to stick with it and just keep pushing through. So this is the advice I can give on how to create money or how to generate money next to your full-time job, do a side hustle, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I hope there was some valuable information in that for you guys, and if you like this new type of videos, please let me know in the comments below. Would be awesome. I have a lot more to share in that regard, and I hope you hit the subscribe button too. Hope to see you back in the next video, guys. Start creating, start doing something, and bye.